TABE offers us a consistent assessment and an ability to generate a report for students to give them exactly where they stand academically and vocationally so that we can place them in a training program that is the best fit for them. The predicted GED scores that we get from the assessment is, in fact, quite accurate.
In this section, we'll be going over some of the key features of TABE 9 and 10 and the types of programs that frequently use TABE. This overview will help you to determine how TABE can be most helpful to you. We'll also be discussing some of the scoring options to help you get the most out of your test results. TABE 9 and 10 was designed to align with current national adult basic education standards and was piloted on thousands of adult students nationwide to ensure that test items are true indicators of a student's abilities. The developers chose subject matter engaging for adults, and the items were selected to minimize bias, ensure that the content is appropriate, and provide the greatest statistical accuracy of test results. The various levels offer a test for each examinee's functional level of achievement. Finally, the test results are easy to understand with scale scores that make skill growth clearly evident. These scores can be used in reporting results for the National Reporting System, or NRS. TABE can be used for several different types of programs: for adult basic education, English as a second language, workforce development, family literacy, corrections, and alternative secondary school programs, to name a few. There is a TABE test for every skill level, including adult basic and secondary education, and GED preparation. Workforce applications include vocational training, technical training, career education, workforce literacy, and federal and state job training. TABE 9 and 10 is the result of many years of listening to your needs as adult educators. CTV is sensitive to the fact that while in some cases you may want to administer a complete diagnostic battery, in many cases you may have limited testing time or only wish to assess a particular subject area. In addition, CTV recognizes that you may wish to test and retest within a given level to assess progress. TABE 9 and 10 is available in 2 editions, a complete battery and a survey. The complete battery gives in-depth diagnostic information and takes about 3 hours to administer, plus 15 to 20 minutes to give instructions, record names on the answer sheets, and so on. The TABE survey has about half as many items and can be completed in about an hour and a half. The TABE Complete Battery offers 5 levels of tests covering skills ranging from pre-literacy through high school. The TABE survey offers 4 levels of tests. These are listed in your workbook. Level L, or literacy, is used for a content grade level range of 0 through 1.9. Level E, or easy, is used for a content grade level range of 2 through 3.9. Level M, or medium, is for a content grade level range of 4 through 5.9. Level D, or difficult, tests a content grade level range of 6 through 8.9. And Level A, or advanced, is for a content grade level range of 9 through 12.9. If testing time is very short, or you wish to test in a particular subject area, you can administer the TABE subtest individually. This takes much less time, as you can see in this chart. Individual core subtests include reading, mathematics computation, applied mathematics, and language, and are available in both the complete battery and survey editions. Sometimes you will want to pre-test and post-test a student or client to demonstrate progress. TABE Forms 9 and 10 are parallel forms that can be used interchangeably, and each one is available both in complete battery and in survey editions. With one version of each subtest available in each of the TABE forms, you have 2 alternate forms to use for testing and retesting individual content areas at each level. You may choose to test and retest at regular intervals, as you can see in this calendar. If you retest with a particular form at a given level, you should allow at least 6 months to elapse between the 2 administrations. An important part of testing, of course, is to get diagnostic information about each student's strengths and weaknesses. To generate such information, CTV offers several scoring options to match your budget and time constraints. If you test with paper and pencil, you can score the tests manually using ScoreEase carbonless self-scoring answer sheets or CompuScan answer sheets scored with stencil overlays. You can also score the CompuScan answer sheets by computer at your own facility using a scanner and TestMate TABE software. You may choose to administer and score TABE by computer using TABE PC for Windows, or you can use internet-based testing and scoring with TABE Online. While manual scoring may be appropriate in some cases, computer-based scoring offers several advantages. It tends to be more accurate, it requires less staff time, and the diagnostic information can be automatically linked to targeted assignments tailored to the individual needs of each client. Now let's turn to the self-check questions for this section of your workbook. Follow along and answer the true-false questions as I read them. When we're done, feel free to play back portions of this presentation or check additional materials to make sure you understand the answers. Question 1. The complete battery and survey take the same amount of time to administer. This is false. The complete battery lasts about 3 hours, and the survey can be given in 90 minutes. It has about half as many items as the complete battery. Question 2. TABE 9 and 10 is suitable for adult students who read below the 9th grade level. This is true. TABE 9 and 10 tests offer 5 levels that are suitable for students with skill levels from pre-literacy through grade 12. Question 3. You can administer easy, medium, difficult, and advanced level tests at the same time at the same site. This is true. The test directions for levels E through A are the same, so you can administer levels E through A within each edition of test, either survey or complete battery. Only the level L test must be administered on its own. From the information in this section, you can see that TABE really is a flexible test to administer and is designed to suit a wide range of applications. Let's stop now and take time to fill out the local focus questions for this section in your workbook. These will help you relate TABE 9 and 10 to the testing program in your organization. When you are done, push play to see the next section, How to Use TABE with Students Who Have Special Requirements.
In our unique vocational training program, we deal with a lot of students who come to us as a one-stop shop. And so this tool allows us to build on their strengths and really pull from there.
It really has improved how many kids graduate and how many kids go on to be successful. Welcome back. Please open your workbook. In adult education, you may frequently encounter situations in which your students or clients have special requirements. These might include specific educational goals like obtaining a GED or taking classes with specific vocational objectives. Some students or clients may have disabilities that require special accommodations in teaching and testing, or they may have very low skill levels or be completely unfamiliar with standardized tests. In fact, you could say that in adult basic education, special requirements are more the norm than the exception. We're going to start this section with a few local focus questions to get you thinking about how special requirements affect your program, and then come back to discuss some of the standard features and optional tests TABE offers to help you with your very diverse clientele. Please press pause and then turn to the local focus questions in your workbook. Press play to resume the presentation when you're finished with these questions. As adult educators, our primary goal is to help our students or clients improve their basic skills. To do this, it's essential that we work with them to prepare them for a successful experience. In some cases, they may not have taken a test for several years and may have test anxiety. In other cases, they are returning to school after an unsuccessful educational experience and need help charting a course to success. Others may never have taken a standardized test. The Getting to Know TABE workbook is a great resource for preparing your students or clients for the experience of taking standardized tests. It features user-friendly text and contains upbeat first-person stories from successful adult students. It covers all the core subject areas assessed by TABE and provides practice items to familiarize students with multiple choice items and bubble-in answer choices. If you enroll students who have non-standard educational backgrounds or whose levels of achievement are not evident, CTB has developed a quick 3-step process for evaluating them so you know which level of TABE to use. You can find this process outlined in your workbook. First, you administer the word list. Then ask the examinees to do the practice exercise on pages 1 and 2 of the practice exercise and locator test book. Then administer the locator test. It takes about 35 minutes, and the results will help you to select the correct level of TABE. In many cases, this may be level L, designed for students with limited literacy in English and beginning mathematics skills. Now let's look at some common special requirements. You can follow along in your workbook. One common special requirement for adult students is preparation for the GED. This test can be very challenging. To help students determine if they are ready to take the GED, TABE provides an estimated GED score. In addition, there are advanced level TABE tests in algebra, geometry, writing, science, and social studies that will further help your students prepare for the GED. The algebra geometry test has 60 selected response items that reflect advanced math content. It comes in its own test book. The writing test provides 2 essay prompts which are published in separate books. This lets you pre-test your students with one writing prompt, offer them additional writing instruction and exercises, and then post-test them with a different writing prompt. There is a separate administration and scoring manual that shows you how to administer the writing test and score the results, using a method very similar to that used by a GED. The science and social studies tests each contain 35 selected response items and are published together in one test book. They can be administered together or separately. TABE 9 and 10 also offers optional tests which can provide in-depth information about vocabulary, language mechanics, and spelling skills. These can be useful for some employment and educational programs that require students or clients to demonstrate proficiency in specific language skills. These tests are quick to administer. For example, the spelling test can be given in just 10 minutes. These optional tests are in levels E, M, D, and A, and are included in the complete battery and survey test books, so you can use them as needed without buying additional test books. Continuing in your workbook, you will see that certain TABE components are offered in large print, braille, and audio editions. In each of these formats, CTB offers the practice exercise and locator tests, and Form 9 complete battery and survey test books. The word list is available in large print and braille formats. Additionally, answer sheets are available in large print. Each braille test book includes braille notes for the teacher to indicate any differences between the regular paper and pencil format and the braille edition. Please refer to the guide to administering TABE 9 and 10 for more information on accommodations and how TABE can meet those needs. Federal law requires that you must accommodate students with special needs. CTB's current position regarding accommodations in testing is based on the following principles that are listed in your workbook. 1. Publishers of standardized tests should clearly define default conditions under which tests are to be administered. These conditions should not be needlessly restrictive and should allow the vast majority of students to participate. 2. Not all students can be tested meaningfully under default conditions, so some accommodations must be made. 3. All students should be included in assessment programs if they can participate meaningfully under either default or individualized education program, IEP, specified conditions. 4. Careful interpretation of test results is essential when accommodations are used. Not all accommodations have the same impact on the interpretation of test scores. For example, allowing a student to take the test alone may affect the interpretation of test results less than allowing a student extra time on a timed test. These details really are the subject of a much longer discussion than we have time for here. For more information, please see CTB's guidelines for inclusive test administration or visit CTB's website at www.ctb.com. Now let's turn to the self-check questions in your workbook. Follow along and answer the true-false questions as I read them. Question number 1. You should not use the locator test to screen students for placement into educational programs. This is true. The locator test does not contain enough items to be used this way. It should only be used to determine which level of TABE to administer to a student. Question 2. TABE only tests basic reading, language, and mathematics skills. This is false. TABE also offers optional tests of vocabulary, language mechanics, and spelling at levels E through A, and advanced level tests in algebra, geometry, writing, science, and social studies. Question 3. All examinees must take tests under the exact same conditions. This is false. There are many different types of testing accommodations that are available for students with disabilities. Question 4. Testing accommodations for disabled students are required by law. This is true. No education program can unilaterally decide not to accommodate disabled students. Question 5. A student should be allowed any accommodation he or she wants to use. This is false. Students should only be tested under default, standardized conditions, or conditions specified in their individualized education program. Adult basic education can be especially challenging because of the variety of student or client abilities and goals. TABE was designed to assist you in meeting a wide range of needs. Let's stop now so you can fill out the local focus questions for this section in your workbook. When you're done, push play to see the next section of the video.
In our facility, in our programs here, we've really turned TABE into a verb because we all know that when you come through the door, you're going to be taped.
It's very helpful because it helps them to pinpoint where they're going to study and how they're going to succeed. Welcome back. By now you probably have a pretty good idea about how TABE fits your program's needs and which TABE features will be most useful to you. But before you move on to testing students or clients, it's important to take the time to review proper test administration procedures that are designed to ensure that your results will be accurate. Proper staff training is essential to make sure your standardized tests are administered in a standardized way. And CTV offers several professional development tools to help you. Probably the single most useful published resource is CTV's Guide to Administering TABE 9 and 10. This well-organized guide is laid out in a way to help you quickly find answers to your questions and provide you with resources for further information. For those who wish to look into the extensive research behind TABE 9 and 10, there is a technical report that explains how Forms 9 and 10 were developed. This report explains how the test items were piloted to yield results that are the best measure of student skills at every level. It also explains how the test forms were standardized and normed by administering them to a representative group of adult students. This provides a basis for measuring your examinee's performance against that of their peers. Each TABE assessment has corresponding test directions. These directions explain how to manage test materials for efficiency and security, plan testing schedules, time administrations, organize the testing area, and administer the test. The TABE Teacher's Guides provide invaluable information once the tests have been administered. They contain an item-by-item breakdown for each level of each test, so teachers can understand which skill needs work when a student answers a given question incorrectly. The Teacher's Guides also provide classroom activity ideas for your teaching staff and were especially designed to be used with adult students. Other parts in the guides show teachers how to use TABE teaching tools, such as building skills with TABE and TABE prescription banks, to build targeted, individualized study plans for each student. As a test administrator, you take on the very serious responsibility of test security. You can follow along with our discussion in this section of your workbook. Test security means not exposing examinees to test questions or content before actual testing. It also means keeping all test materials under lock and key between assessment sessions and keeping test results confidential. CTV recommends comprehensive security procedures, which track secure materials from the time they are ordered through their distribution and ultimately to the destruction of worn-out test materials by shredding. When you release test results to students, teachers, or other people, you must also provide interpretation and guidance about what the test covers, what the scores mean, and how the scores will be used. Now let's look at the materials you should have on hand before you begin testing with the printed versions of TABE 9 and 10. You can find the lists of these materials in your workbook. Before you begin your testing session, You will need to check through your inventory of tape tests and other test materials. This should be done several weeks before your testing session to make sure your staff and examinees have all the materials they will need. Each test site should have the Guide to Administering Tape 9 and 10, the technical report, the norms tables, scoring supplies such as scoring stencils and scoring software to plan to score electronically. Each examiner will need the appropriate test directions, the tape test books for the tests being given, the group record sheet, and the individual diagnostic profile for each examinee. Each examinee will need the tape test book at the appropriate level and the corresponding answer sheet. They will also need 2 number 2 pencils with erasers, an extra eraser, scratch paper for solving mathematics problems, and optionally a 4-function calculator for the applied mathematics test. If you are missing any materials, contact your test coordinator well in advance of the testing session so there will be time to locate or order the missing materials. It's also essential that you plan your testing session so examinees can do their best. If possible, avoid testing just before or after major vacations or holidays. Review the tests and test directions in advance. Review the tips for examinees that are listed in your workbook and plan to read them to your examinees before testing begins. Make sure examinees know what time to arrive. Do not require examinees to sit through test sections they do not take. Schedule breaks if needed between time testing sections. Be sensitive to examinees' fatigue levels and attention spans. Adjust the schedule if necessary. And allow for makeup sessions for examinees who miss the main test date. On the day of the test, mark off each item on your day of test checklist. There is a copy of the checklist in your workbook. Make sure you have keys if the test site will be locked. Arrive early to adjust the heat, lighting, and seating arrangements. Make sure you have an accurate clock on hand for timing the test. Adhering to established testing times is essential to ensuring reliability of the norms. Distribute the test materials, making sure each examinee has a test book at the appropriate level and corresponding answer sheet. Fill in identifying information on answer sheets or test books. Make sure examinees work in the correct place in their test books and mark only one answer for each test item. Note the stop time for each section of the test on a board or large sheet of paper so examinees can gauge how much time they have left. Prevent talking or sharing of answers among examinees and collect all materials at the end of the testing session. Extending the testing time to get more diagnostic information is not recommended, except as an accommodation, and ultimately will not provide you with good information on how your examinee compares with others at his or her level. You'll also want to be prepared for situations that may arise during testing. For example, how will you answer examinee questions, or what to do if an examinee must leave the room? If you are in doubt, discuss these issues with your test coordinator. Additionally, you'll want to plan carefully in advance for any accommodations for clients with specific disabilities. Now let's turn to the self-check questions in your workbook. Follow along and answer the true-false questions as I read them. Question number 1. Sometimes it is okay to show an examinee a few test questions before an assessment actually starts. This is false. Divulging test questions ahead of an assessment is a serious breach of test security. Use Getting to Know TABE and the TABE practice exercise to familiarize examinees with the assessment. Question 2. Test administrators should never let examinees take breaks during the administration of the TABE test. This is false. Breaks are not allowed within a timed test section, but they may be scheduled between subtests. Question 3. You should notify CTV if you believe someone at your test site has breached test security. This is true. Test administrators are responsible for maintaining test security and are required to notify CTV if a breach occurs. Question 4. Test directions tell how the TABE tests were developed and how the items were standardized. This is false. Test directions tell how to administer a specific test step by step. TABE's development is described in the technical report and in the Guide to Administering TABE 9 and 10. Question 5. Your program may have special funds available to buy staff training and development materials. This is true. Most programs set aside a certain percentage of funds that are earmarked for professional development materials and training. As you can see, administering TABE successfully requires careful planning and preparation. But this preparation is time well spent that will pay off in a more effective testing session that will be a positive experience for you and your students or clients and will provide accurate, useful results for your program. Let's stop now and take time to fill out the local focus questions for this section in your workbook. When you are done, push play to see the final section of this video.
We're looking for something that's reliable, valid, and affordable. I mean, and user-friendly for the client on the other end. Those are all specific pieces that you look for. And we've had success with this product for a while.
TABE is much more than a test. It is a family of quality testing, teaching, and training tools that have been developed over many years with the input of people who actually use it, adult educators like yourself. The goal of using TABE is to help teachers help students to succeed. To ensure that success, we believe it is essential that you be able to receive the support you need. Your TABE test coordinator is first in line to answer your questions and get you the materials and information you need. You will find important contact information for many other TABE resources, such as websites and contact information for TABE customer service, TABE scoring, and technical support on the inside back cover of your workbook. Thank you for participating in this training presentation. We believe you will find the TABE 9 and 10 materials to be excellent tools for testing and teaching your students and improving your own professional skills. If you have any questions, need additional information, or have suggestions for TABE's continued improvement, please don't hesitate to contact us. We look forward to hearing from you.
I'm continuing going to school. I'm proud of myself. It just made me want to go more because if I seen all the effort I already put into it and my goal was there and it's at reach, I mean, I'm going to try to reach it and grab it.
I think that the common goal is everybody wants to succeed.
They have a modicum of success. A spark is lighted. And they kept coming back. And they blossom.
I appreciate that. No, hopefully I'm done.